So, in today's video, we're talking about plug-in hot tubs. Not like mine, which is hardwired to a disconnect box over there and then hardwired to the breakers. I'm talking about one you just plug in, just like any old kitchen appliance. That's what we're talking about today, and specifically whether that's a terrible idea or not. At first, the idea of a hot tub that you can just plug in sounds like a great idea, right? After all, I have to have an electrician out to do anything with this hot tub. The idea of just being able to plug it in sounds great. It also sounds like, hey, if I just plug it in, then maybe it's going to be cheaper on my electric bill than one that has to have a special breaker box put on it, right? Actually, that's wrong. And we're going to talk a little bit later in this video about how much you can expect a hot tub to cost on your electric bill, both a hardwired kind and the plug-in kind. But just know that no, normally a 220 to 240 volt hot tub like mine is going to be cheaper on your electric bill than the kind that you plug in. So why would a hot tub that you just plug in use more electricity than one like this that has to be hardwired? That's a great question. And the answer really is kind of simple if you think about it. The kind that you just plug into a standard wall outlet uses 110 volts versus 220 or 240 for one like this. At 110 volts, it takes a lot more energy to power the heater and the pump that gives you your jets. That means it's a lot less energy efficient when you use one that just plugs into a standard wall outlet. When it's less energy efficient, that means it's going to use more energy and cost you more in the long run. How much more? We'll get into that a little bit later in this video, but it is going to cost you more if you use the kind that just plugs in. So the next thing to know about hot tubs that plug in versus ones like this that are hardwired is that typically hot tubs that plug in have fewer jets and water features. Why is that? Well, as we just discussed, hot tubs that plug in use more electricity, so they tend to put fewer things in them that draw electricity to try and make them as energy efficient as possible. So you're going to see fewer jets, you're probably not going to see things like waterfalls and other features, and the heater tube is probably going to be a lower kilowatt heater tube, which means it'll take longer to heat up that water every time you drain it and refill it. So just be aware of those things. So I've given you some of the minuses of plug-in hot tubs. Next, I want to tell you a story about my last hot tub at my previous house. It, like this one, was one that had to be hardwired in. I thought I would save a lot of money by buying a used one on Craigslist, having it delivered, and then hooking it up and doing any repairs that were needed myself. I did that. However, the one thing that I neglected to do was check my breaker panel and see if I had any available slots open. There weren't any. And what that meant was that I had to hire an electrician to come out and completely redo my breaker panel. It was a royal pain. I got 3 different quotes, some as high as $3,000. In the end, it cost me about $700, which was a bargain compared to some of those prices that I got quoted. But it was still an expense I hadn't planned for, and if I had gotten one that just plugged in, I would have been soaking in no time. So that's one story I wanted to share with you, because that's a clear advantage for the kind that you just plug in. The other clear advantage of a plug-in hot tub is that they're cheaper. If I was buying this hot tub new, and I'm not because this was here when we bought the house about 1.5 years ago, but if I was buying this one new, it would be at least $7,000, and chances are, with all of the fancy features that this one has, it probably would be over $10,000 installed. You can get plug-in hot tubs that are quality hot tubs, and I'm going to link to my favorite one in the description below. You can get those on Amazon for under $4,000. There's some great bargains out there on the kind that you plug in. Just be aware of the pros and the cons that we've discussed so far in this video. And no, I'm not talking about inflatable ones. I'm talking about a real hot tub just like this one, just one that plugs into the wall, maybe has a few fewer jets and things like that, but a real hot tub, not an inflatable one. Hi everyone, my name is Jeff Campbell. This is my channel, Hot Tub Owner HQ. I also have a website, hottubownerhq.com, and both on this channel and on my website, I share all of the best tips that I've learned in owning 4 different hot tubs over the last 15 years or so. I want to share those tips with you. Why? Not because I'm some super genius. I've made a lot of boneheaded mistakes, and I want to save you some of the hassles and headaches that I've had to go through. So if you like this video, I'd love it if you give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and the bell notification button. I'm putting out new videos every week, so I know there's going to be something for any hot tub owner out there. Okay, I mentioned earlier in the video that I had a favorite hot tub that you can get on Amazon that just plugs into a standard wall outlet that's really inexpensive. It's from a company called Essential Hot Tubs, and every hot tub that they make, and they make some that plug in, some that have to be hardwired, and they make some that can be converted from a plug-in to a hardwired. But they're all great hot tubs. Every single hot tub on Amazon from this company are all 4- and 5-star reviews. They're all fantastic products, and they're all really, really inexpensive. Even the hardwired ones are well under $5,000 typically, but the plug-and-play ones that they have are typically well under $3,000. Many of them, like the one I'm recommending right now, are under $2,500. Amazon doesn't allow me to disclose the actual price, and it may vary anyway by the time you're watching this video. But currently, this hot tub from Essential Hot Tubs, which is their Newport hot tub, is well under $2,500, has a few different color options, and again, just plugs into a standard wall outlet. It's a great product at a great price, and I think it's a great place to start if you're looking for something inexpensive, but something a little nicer than an inflatable hot tub. So we talked earlier about how this kind of hot tub, a 220 to 240 volt kind that has a disconnect box that goes to a main breaker box, how that's more energy efficient than the kind that just plugs in. But what is that actually going to cost you on your electric bill? Well, you'd be surprised. The typical hot tub like this one is only going to cost you $20, maybe $30 a month at most. And I leave my hot tub on 24/7. The only time I ever turn it off is right now when I'm recording these videos, because I don't want that noisy thing in the background. But the rest of the time it is on 24/7, and it costs me at most $30 a month. Now, the kind that you plug in could cost you upwards of $50 a month, depending upon which one you get and how energy efficient it is, because there's some different types out there. But just know that it will cost you a little bit more on your monthly electric bill than one like this. But the worst case scenario, you're still probably looking at no more than $50 a month for any kind of hot tub. And that's pretty good considering all the benefit that I get out of this thing and my family and friends when they come over. So I told you my story about the nightmare I had at my last house and having to hire electricians and spend a lot of money. So just know that either kind of hot tub, whether you have a hardwired one or the kind that plug in, you're gonna need a GFCI breaker for that, no matter what. What does that look like? Well, let me show you. Okay. So this is the disconnect panel on my hot tub. It's located within just a few feet of the hot tub, but not close enough so that somebody could reach it while in the hot tub. That's for safety purposes. Let me go ahead and open the lid for you so you can see the GFCI breaker inside. All right, let's get down here and get a bird's eye view. That little white button there tells you that that's a GFCI breaker. And if something were to go wrong electrically or with water, that breaker would trip within just like a fraction of a second, which could save your life. That's a great feature to have, and it's required for all hardwired hot tubs like my hot tub. Now, if you've got a plug-and-play hot tub, the kind we've been talking about, they do indeed plug into a normal household outlet, just like this one. It does need to be a 3-prong outlet, that way it's grounded, but it also has to be a GFCI breaker, meaning there in the center of it, you'll see a little breaker button that pops in the event of any electrical disruption or any issue with the water and electricity getting mixed together. This outlet also was designed to have a plastic cover over it to protect it from rain and the other elements. It didn't have that on here when we bought the house, and I've never bothered to go ahead and put one on there, although I should. And certainly, if I had my hot tub plugged into this, I would want some sort of weather protection just to make sure it wasn't tripping the breaker just because of the weather. Once again, everyone, my name is Jeff Campbell. This is my channel, Hot Tub Owner HQ. I also have my website, hottubownerhq.com, and both here and there, I'm sharing all of the best tips that I know from having made a bunch of mistakes. And I want to save you those same hassles and headaches that I've had to go through. If you like this video, I'd love it if you gave me a thumbs up, hit that bell notification button and the subscribe button. All of those things do a lot for my channel in terms of telling YouTube that, hey, this is a pretty good channel. I want to see more of this. That helps spread the word, and it helps other people like you find content like what I'm providing. Anyway, I'm going to see you in the next one.